So, a lot of shit been happening in my life the past 2 days. Anyone else feel the same? Or like 2 day sections within the last 4 years were worse than anything else you've ever experienced in your whole life put together? Um, I've been finding a lot of peace in just like being, and in my life now, like the law seems like it's about to be screwing me over because like wasn't paying attention to. It's a long story, but I was innocently sort of screwing myself over. I had certain things I needed to take care of, first of all, that I wasn't because I was trying to ignore and repress my past. But you have to face it down. You have to face down the responsibilities that face you in the moment. That if you look at the end results, you're gonna be screwed the fuck over. And I don't mean just being put out of a house, but being thrown in a fucking jail or something. Literally, I haven't done anything, but the court now has so many charges on me that I'm scared of it, and it's screwing me up right now. It's really like not okay. Um, Simultaneously, I've reached like a total new level with Jesus. Yahshua, he knows who you mean. Um, Party at my house. Uh, that should look cool. Oh, things are looking cool, folks. All you gotta do is just mention Jesus. Now it's helping you. I honestly, I had like a good amount of things sort of sidelinedly planned for this video. I'm just totally blanking on them. Bear with me, folks. Duck face. I remember fucking duck face in girls' high school. Duck face. It's just like, why can't you just like put like poop on your face? It would be better. It would be like a cool girl instead of like a fucking retarded trend follower. A funny little trend occurring in America nowadays. People following trends just because it's a trend. And, in the 90s and the 80s, 70s, 60s, those trends were occurring because it was an expression of something like real. It was a, or it was a moment of personal uh, emancipation, freeing yourself from your own ego. But nowadays, people are following trends strictly just because it's a trend now, and like everyone knows what's trending, and we're just gonna do it because it's trending. Just like the masks the last 4 years, just like the schizophrenic fucking behavior. And let's not go into this land too deeply, but let's see. Yeah, let's get into that. That's mainly what I was going to try to be talking about. You can coast through life doing the wrong things. You can coast through life with horrible things happening to you. Um, but the true, decider is what's going on within you, not around you, not this and that, not him or her. What's going on inside you. Um, and Jesus can throw you to the curb and fucking stomp you out just to get you to realize you're being a fool and you have to retract yourself out of that bullshit like 100 miles at least in a few seconds. It usually happens real quick. 100 miles a second. That's pretty darn fast. I don't think even aliens can go that fast. But I don't know. I've only seen them moving across a landscape within a millisecond from very far away. So I don't know how fast that was either. How fast even is 100 fucking miles a second? Fuck, can you even picture that? Anyways, let's drink some coffee. Coffee. I just thought of that Pokemon character. It's definitely like resembling someone who smokes and it just puffballs of smoke coming out of it. Like, yeah. People need to be motivated to cough, man. Too many people are dying because they're not allowing themselves to cough anymore. They're all stuff like, fucking cough. I'm sick of this shit. You're dying. Please save yourself. Now this fucking what they're saying on your news station when everyone said, wear a mask, don't cough. Keep it in. I don't want to die because of you. Fuck them. They need to die. They're the ones causing all of everyone else to die. It doesn't take materialistic reductionism to survive natural selection. It just takes having a fucking baby. That's crazy, though. And speaking of Jesus, like curb stomping you, I mean, it can be your wife dying, an unborn baby dying, or a born baby, horrible health, dies before, a few months old. And you're like, just God, what? Why? And that forces you eventually into this state I found, which I've sort of lost a little bit. It was totally on fire today, and then I started playing chess and actually winning because I wasn't lagging all of a sudden. Funny how Satan works. I was finally winning, and then I was just sort of like, all right, let's begin. It's not too bad. And then I just forced myself to be like, well, just to start this live stream, trust that what need be said would be spoken. Like how, yeah, reflection. You're beaten up by your life, and you're sitting there like the thumbnail for this video, like Icho. It's like, I gotta stop being a fool. I gotta stop waiting for this guy to come back so that I can, I was trying to show him that I wasn't afraid by leaving, so I would wait here for him to come back. That was Ichigo in that scene, and they're like dragging him out. He's like, no, he's gonna think I ran away. Yoruichi just comes and claws him right in the face, gives him a little lecture. We're saving Rukia here, did you forget? It's the mission. He's just sitting there like, damn. What am I doing? Being a fool. Not just being a fool, being a fool. I do feel like, well, it's a very, certainly for a reason, controversial and heated topic, but I feel just as much that people push way too much on some sober-minded thinking and sober reflection as opposed to like just relaxing and letting someone do what they feel they need to do in order to connect in a certain way with what they can't really like, put the plugs into to connect to at the moment. What is it that I really need to learn, understand, and perceive? And of course, greatening your perspective will help, but of course, being crushed by your life also works in a way that, like, nothing else works. And that's why Jesus allows you to be crushed in your life. And it allows someone who you think you're supposed to be with forever to die. So you could realize that you're worth even more than that. Or that you could realize that, like, life is more than anything of you or her is. About all of us following Jesus, putting our faith in God. Not so that, this is a very important thing I found recently. I I was like, who fucking cares that I have faith in you, God? Who cares? And yeah, who does care? It doesn't matter who cares if you have faith in God. It just matters that you do for you, because your life will be infinitely better when you finally actually find real faith in God, because the person's creating the reality that's floating, flashing through your eyeballs, the one in control of all the levers, all the enemies coming around, and also how you react to them. Uh, if you know, you allow the Holy Spirit, you can come with love and understanding as opposed to being like, what the fuck that motherfucker doing here again? Uh, I'm totally losing the thread. God. Fuck, man. It's like the thoughts are being pushed out of my mind, slipping further and being pushed further and further away. If only I could rewind real life and then continue the live stream. Uh, Fuck. That God allows horrible things to happen to you for a reason. Basically, I forget what I was fucking saying. Shout out to Jared. Jared Emmett. You motherfucker ain't responded in like 5 years besides once to tell me to be like, why are you calling me insults? Because I was just calling you insults to try to get your fucking attention and have you respond because you weren't responding. That's all it was. Told you that. You didn't read the messages where I told you that yet, like 3 years ago. Anyways, I just wanted to shout out to you, tell you you're a cool motherfucker, and even though you're probably never gonna watch this, keep it real. Now, universes and paintings, depictions and inflection. Sometimes you have to be willing to be called crazy by people who are fake. If you're worried about people who are fake calling you crazy, you're not activated. You're not letting yourself go. You're not letting go. Because obviously, when a fake person calls you crazy to someone else, that someone else, if they're fake, they're not going to be able to realize that the person who's calling you crazy is fake. And so, but if that person is real, who that person's lying to them about you, about, uh, it's a weird grammar moment. Uh, you should know that that real person will be able to detect the fakeness and not believe the bullshit that a crazy person has to say about quote unquote crazy you. You, the real person, should just worry about real people's opinions, if anything. But really, you should just serve God's opinion because that's the best way to fucking be yourself. When you're thinking about, if God was watching this, there's so many people, they're so sinful that they're just like, oh, I can't handle my privacy being invaded like that. And that's all it ever is to them. But literally, to me, when I'm thinking, God's the one who's the opinion and perspective I should care about. It completely empowers me to stop giving a fuck about what anyone thinks and just be myself to the absolute maximum. I can reach a very similar level when I'm trying to do music, when I think about um, not what the people around me would be hearing, but what and caring about, but what the birds around me would care about musically occurring. um, yeah, I find, potentially if you're an atheist or a Gentile, or as they say, or someone who rejects the idea of God, if you just serve the opinion and perspective of birds, if you're doing like a musical performance or something like that, trying to come out with great quality, that's the best, way for you to shoot yourself up, and not with guns or drugs, but with in perspective and quality of results. Uh, um, Random tip for singers out there. Now we're on a musical topic. I had two main keys. I forget one of them to, you know, professional public singing and performance, whatever. The one key that I remember is maximum airflow. You need maximum airflow every time you sing, or else you're going to be tightening your voice, and it's going to be harder to hit the right note because it's all crunch. You're trying to hit it at a different part of your voice chakra, and it's also going to sound hollow. Maximum airflow, especially with screamo. Screamo is the most important one with maximum airflow because it has to come from real emotion. It has to come from a real place inside you. You can't just be trying to sing the notes, trying to sing the song, the vocals part. You have to be literally trying to express what you're saying. So you have to put yourself, this is a distinction between like an MC, master of ceremonies, as far as half of it goes, as and a either a DJ or just some lowball, cornball, fucking nobody wannabe record deal signing ass motherfucker. Oh, that's a good topic. Reason um, that record deals are inherently satanic is not just because the corporations and the evil people that control the media and tell people that this artist is good and check him out. Tell people to tell people who told people anyways. The tellers of the all right. The reason it's satanic, a record deal, is because someone who doesn't deserve a mic yet, and who would just embarrass themselves up there, uh, in terms of a fucking live performance and songs written by someone else, vocals they're not really on par with, and the lyrics that contradict themselves. Have a good time, singing lyrics that contradict themselves over and over and over, and wondering why you can't sing anymore. How can you be passionate about lyrics that contradict themselves? You can't. When you find real power, you don't contradict yourselves in the way that pop music does, in the way that pop music does. You can contradict yourself in terms of a paradox and in terms of a, you know, um, deeper things, but it's so directly, simply um, mistake filled. The way record deals and unprepared people do it, because the actual spiritual side of things, reason that it's record deal is satanic, is because um, what was it? What is the way I put it? Uh, I guess it's just best to draw up the contrasts, because God will make your life hard so that you can work on yourself and recognize there is no maximum and no perfection state. It's always development, because God Himself is still developing in ways that you're not. He has His own ways, greater ways of developing, and greater things to be, you know. But uh, the record deal, taking on someone who's 20, 25, still not beaten up enough by life to really have been refined into something that's worth talking to, no less. But mainly just like the things they say, they're all misleading. They're all misleading millions, hundreds of millions of people, uh, while and that damns them, because when people see their face, they're gonna be like, oh, that's the guy that misled me, or like in heaven, or in the afterlife. And they think of you, they're gonna be realizing that that's the dude who misled me, and you're gonna be like, I did, and please forgive me. And but you're gonna say that to 300 million people. You're gonna say that to a billion people. Everyone, forgive me. And that's the thing, and like God really selects chosen people. He really selects people out of and protects them from the naivete we all have, uh, by you know keeping them off of becoming on a world stage until they're actually truly developed into something that doesn't become disaffected by stimulus around it and things. They don't throw you off from being yourself. You are now always just yourself. You are something that is complete, in a sense that you're like Simon Peter, the rock, the foundation of the kingdom of Jesus, his Christianity, the foundation of it, the way the chosen. I don't know, people watching my stream probably haven't watched The Chosen, but I really recommend it if you're trying to understand the Bible and the discipleships and the people who wrote the passages of the New Testament. um, Crazy how the Antichrist is impossible without Christ having come first. And Christ comes, and then the possibility of an Antichrist is everywhere. And it's like a positive, negative, balancing out equation or something in higher dimensional ways. They're creating a higher dimension. It's my theory on like why the Greek gods were the Greek gods until sort of like Christianity, is that the Greek gods were sort of like the original. How do I put it? That the Greek gods always existed or whatever, but like a higher dimension was created out of them, because it was like a summation event that like gods were, like God of War sort of depicts that, like, even one of the greatest among us, Kratos is a strong man. He's not the type who's just like, falling to the same sin that we fall to. I mean, he was a bloody warrior, fighter guy in like armies and wars, and he destroyed, but that was just something that was part of life back then. And to try to understand why Zeus killed his family, um, take it on yourself for just a second. Like, are you really gonna try to start up another family after the family you already put so much effort and invested so much into was just murdered in front of your fucking eyes? There's like blood and just everywhere, and it's just a complete insult. You're like, I'm never gonna try again, and then um, not to get too off topic, this is part of the painting that the Greek gods were not it was not a fair equation. And a higher dimension was created of God Almighty, potentially, maybe even manifested by the will of the righteous, as it seems that the history of Christianity is manifested by the will of the righteous. Isaiah prophesies the Son of Man will come, this and that, and then 700 years later, and of course something's gonna happen in that time, but and like the dude who hung a snake on the cross, this is like 4000 BC or something. He hung a snake on the cross during this crazy breakout of illness and stuff, and it's a very controversial story. He hung a snake on a cross. Everyone was ill, but the people who believed that it was a sign from God or something, they were healed. But everyone who was like, "Oh, that's blasphemy, that's heresy, what are you doing?" They weren't healed. And it's crazy how the people who just, saw it as a sign from God, they were healed. And it was something that, it was like, it was just a man and another man in a room. Like, how do we figure this out? How do we stop this? And it's just, Smith's a fucking snake on a cross. He goes out and he's like, "The Lord proclaims your health," or something, There was a man who, prepared the way of the Lord, in a sense, Let your faith heal you. Give them a sign to let their faith heal them. I gotta roll another spliff. Not a sponsor. I hate myself. I'd feel ashamed if I was you, though, bitch. A good line. Some dude who's like around my age, ginger, skinny motherfucker, but pot-bellied like Majin Buu, and just a complete dick. I asked him for some help getting like a Five Guys burger, and he's like, "You've already asked me, man. You already asked me that." I was like, "When?" Like, I've definitely talked about this some time recently, but he's like, and I was like, what, like a month ago, a week ago, yesterday? He just didn't respond to that and just went inside, and he came back out, and I was like, "Why do you have such a problem with people asking you for help?" And he didn't respond to that. I was like, "Oh, this guy, he's got memory." Started clapping my hands. He's like, "Yeah, I got memory. I just want to." Oh, I shouldn't say this because it's censorship. I can't even say it. Fuck it. I'll just get to the point. He called me a hobo, and God, I wished I said this one thing, and I had one other thing that I wanted to say, like right after I realized it. But then, like 2 hours later, I was like, God, I should have said that. Oh yeah, I'd feel the shame if I was you, bitch. Oh, I'm a hobo. I'd feel the shame if I was you, motherfucker. Because all this stuff has brought me up The streets now have raised me into becoming something greater than I could have ever been in my life. That's why sometimes when I'm walking around a town, it's like, anyone want to trade uh, a house for my homelessness? You'll become a legend. You'll become a superstar. But no one understands what I mean. They think I'm trying to trick them. It's too bad for them. I was giving them something they. It's crazy. Because that's like Jesus with me right now. It's not even funny, dude. But it's so, like, why can't it just be positive? Why can't it just be something positive that, like, makes me life more? Instead of something negative that makes me like, alright, listen up. Everybody listen up. I have all the answers. Let me say them to you. Take 5 grams of mushrooms in a forest by yourself. Watch Bleach the anime. Watch Dragon Ball Z again. I just handed you life 10 trillion times over. Go homeless. Unless you're a woman. Don't go homeless if you're a woman. I just had a weird flashback to a dream where I was going like balding at the front of my hair, and I was just like, wait, that's not the case right now. It's weird. Dude. Just like, what the fuck? It was like bad in the dream. It was fucking, I was like, dude, my life is over, man. I gotta roll in a spliff. That's a good thing to say. Yeah. I feel like everyone's going through some serious shit right now. Like within the past 2 days or week. And, you just have to learn to turn it all into faith in God so that you can get your fucking way out. You can find your way out of it. It's not faith in God so that other people can know that you have faith in God. It's for yourself. It's for yourself. So that you can gain the discernment and understanding and wisdom and sort of wits to face down all the things that have turned into a tidal wave that's falling over your life right now. Like, stand your ground and take out that tidal wave before it hits town. You know, find the way to fix the fucking problem with your hands. It could just be that you're too lazy or procrastinative or ignorant of your circumstances, or it could be that you just don't know how yet. And since it only, of course, if it's the first one, just slap yourself in the face and do whatever it is you need to do and recognize it's not that bad. Second one is you just don't know how to fix tidal wave. Find a way. I'm gonna try to suggest good ideas. I'm just gonna lead out by saying find a way yourself, because only you know the tidal wave, the specific type of. Let's not say a tidal wave, because that's just too intangible. But it is like a force of nature, though. Jesus is like a force of nature. Wind blows and it just blows. And it goes back to the other direction. Here, there. Wind just blows, man. Jesus is just like, just like that. The thing is, there are going to be trends occurring at specific times in your life. You have to notice these things and summate what it means, and you might need to be on cannabis in order to be able to do that. So far as I've found, the only time I've been able to summate my life and move on and like take the next step in it is when I smoked some cannabis after not smoking it for a while, or yeah, that sobriety is good, but it's not good unless you finally go back to the stuff to you know to like really grasp it all. I feel like when you're sober, you just don't take the time to really reflect. You're just sort of at ease with the moment, probably bored with the moment, or um, I don't know. I find sobriety a bit underwhelming is one word, but more like it's just I probably wouldn't be so caught up in trying to find the right word if I wasn't high right now. But is that actually a problem? Yeah, I could say, I understand, some people it's just. I mean, have I not been basically flowing for the last 37 minutes? Give me a break. Um, you know, there's times when things, yes, don't smoke weed every day, like I have been for the last 10 years. There's been spliffs, though, for the last 6 or 7, and that's a very different lifestyle. And crazy how much the drug of choice totally decides your lifestyle. The reason weed is associated with homelessness, generally speaking, is because when you smoke weed, you're finally in a state where you're not of the world. Nothing of the world is affecting you anymore unless, it comes in and tramples on your good time that you're finally having for the first time in forever. All the hinges have been loosed, and you're not a serial killer, you're a flower that can move around, and that's a beautiful thing. Help those flowers move around, folks. Anyways. They're there giving us oxygen. We might as well give them something instead of cutting them down and turning them into rope all the time. I need to cut down this entire Amazon. Wait, no, let's burn down this entire Amazon forest and build soy farms, as the article that depicted why the burnings were happening in South America said. At least the one article I saw, it was, the local farmers agreed to burn down the Amazon for soy farms. The local farmers agreed to burning down the Amazon at all, ever, for anything? How? No, 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 no. I'm someone who barely understands their culture, yet knows them enough to know they would never, ever, 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 ever fucking do that. They know and believe and everything that there are gods in that forest, that gods reside in that forest. they know it's a place more special than any single one of us. Um, they would never agree, and it must just have been, they either didn't even bother to go down there to try to talk to them to realize they couldn't figure out what fucking language they were speaking, or they didn't, or or they didn't bother at all, or they did. I forget which one I said at first, but then just fires are happening everywhere. But this article that we put out says we just agreed with the local farmers. Wait, you fucking choke them out too? That's what America would call an agreement nowadays. Is choke them out. Say it. We can burn down the Amazon. Say it. Of course that didn't happen. They just burned it fucking down. They just fucking burned it down, man. It was great, It proved Terrence McKenna right that the botanical garden might even be I probably shouldn't even talk about this. I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm gonna protect the that thing. Anyways, the universe has 12 categories. The 13 sometimes, but the warfare always treads on. The battle of the gods is everywhere. Always is the battle of the gods going on. Don't ever think in terms of mythology, folks. Think in terms of all of that happening right now. You think gods fighting each other created all the stars, and that's why they're all dead, and no one knows, blah blah blah. No, they're all out there. Their power can be felt. The perspective, perception of you can be felt. But are you on Mount Olympus? I find it rare that any single American could find themselves on top of Mount Olympus. Because what that takes is at least 5 hours of screamo, man. That takes is at least 2 hours of the most hardcore screamo session of your life. Rage Against the Machine, more like, than heavy metal, not like, but fucking meaningful lyrics, taking on the system. Obviously the system's fucked, and obviously it needs to be destroyed. Not burnt down, not all these buildings burnt down, but the pedophiles in control of it potentially killed, mutinied, more, it's anything, really. But no one doing anything, because no one wants to sacrifice the ability to have a girlfriend, a family, for the greater good. The actual greater good, not the fucking hot fuzz greater good. The greater good. We must kill these homeless people for the greater good. Yes, the greater good. These homeless viruses, man, I'm getting sick of it. I want to stomp that guy who's better looking than me out. ASAP. All these excuses to kill that person who's better at life than me, I'll take it. The person who I'm envious of would never admit that I'm envious of because I'm envious of instead of jealous. Okay. Okay. It's funny, a smile used to last quite a while on my face if I ever found one, but now it just goes away like the instant I fucking smile. Because I know there's just nothing good out there to receive. I feel like everyone hates everyone now, but mostly hates me. Oh, good time to be alive, guys. Best time ever, 2024, right? 2 in the peg, 3 in the steak, you know what I'm saying? Alright, guys. All you want to do an interview? I have like 1 million followers on YouTube. Oh gosh, okay, we're starting the interview. Have you ever had sex with someone who looks like me? Uh, yeah. Oh, what's going online, folks? You made it, girl. You made it online. Good job. Now, about that sex we're gonna have later. Yeah. Uh, uh, I think I have a condom somewhere. You don't need it. You have 1 million followers on YouTube. Gained within the last 4 years, guaranteed. That banal, absolutely. Oh, bro, all those videos and clips, all that fucking nonsense the last 4 years on Facebook, fucking all those stupid clips and videos and shorts that been some reason got millions of views, talked about. Oh, for the first 2-3 years, I was the only person calling all that shit retarded, and now everyone's calling it retarded, and everyone's like, "Why are all these videos all fucking stupid?" It's just like they've been like that for the last 4 fucking years. I don't know if you noticed. Uh, Maybe they're just finally coming back from their DNA manipulation from the cure. The cure cured us all of humanity. We got a little humanity left. Let it go. The microwaves of gamma rays of 5G haven't melted you enough. Well, I think we can figure out something to fix that. Satan? Any ideas? Yeah, I got a few. Eisen? Eisen, you got I always wondered. I have always, as a scientist, wondered what it would be like to finally stick myself inside that microwave and figure out how to push that darn button on the outside of the microwave to turn it on. And, but now I no longer need to. I am blessed with the ability to be living during the era of 5G networks. For $45.99 trillion a month, we're gonna make sure that your data is totally used to fuck up, even if you have 100 gigs, because no longer we're gonna go easy on you. All your videos that you replay, they're gonna be having to be reloaded. No video caches anymore. No. We need more melted. We need people melted more. Melted. Microwaves, gamma rays, my favorite. Hey, things are getting pretty hot. Getting pretty hot nowadays. Getting pretty hot. This is funny. It's ever since winter, it's been summer whenever the sun just came out. Yeah. Midday, the sun comes out. It's like fucking 80 fucking degrees. Nowadays, the sun comes out. It's like 120. But what does the barometer say? 80. Fucking throat drying up every fucking hour. Just like it's being cooked from the inside out or something. Microwaves, 5G tower. It's funny how they can get away with this bullshit for so long. They put they put up radio towers that emit microwaves and gamma rays. What the fuck is that? Why? We have people funding the destruction of consciousness. If you want what our spirit's trying to, let out the gate. But really, what we're gonna tell you is that they're not even gonna tell. The true implications, the more direct implications, that why microwave and gamma rays the least effective radio transmission wavelength, aka they travel the least distance from the radio towers, so they would have to set up these radio towers everywhere, allowing for more direct manipulative control of the consciousness of the individuals of the population in the area. So that is no longer just 4G radio towers sending sexuality vibes to the entire area, and everyone's being like, "Hey, we're all on the same page here, right?" Yeah. And instead, it's division, totally different vibes throughout different regions of areas, and just oh, a pedophile finally got a date, so they're gonna be, of course, sending the oh, the let's have sex and just do it, whatever. You got money vibes. The fucking. It's not like they need to do much anymore. They got the vaccinations into these people, and so now it's just like, oh, do you have money, or do you support mask wearing and vaccinate and not and those other things? Still, um, I love censorship. Anyways, let's spark this. And are you slick? Super slick with the moves. Does he have moves? Does he touch you and you wanted it? Oh. A man who touches you because he somehow read some implication, and you haven't given consent to it, and you just met each other. That's a practical rapist. That's a rapist, basically. A good man, he would never make a move like that. I'm probably gonna repeat it till I hit the yawning fucking grave full of ash and dust. The women are the ones who should be making the moves. So I no longer feel like an American woman is a butterfly, instead more like just a succubi or something. Because I've been trying to just attract women like a butterfly the last 5 years, and it just left me alone. And I do feel quite insulted, honestly. I'm very insulted. I understand. I just miss all the confusion and stupidity of everyone going retarded in the name of everyone believes our government again. Facepalm. Bloody facepalm. That's the new fucking emote, man. A bloody fucking facepalm. The memory. It's a war over the memory of the wrongdoings and corruption of our government. And now it's just normal for our government to be corrupt, and people are now just listening to what they say as if it was God mandating what they do through their government. to make sure everyone knows that they need to be wearing a mask. Literally the most inebriated, retarded last 4 years possible. This is literally all about that. Oh, wear a mask, wear a mask. Oh, this mask. Oh. The homeless people need to be wearing masks because they're disgusting. We wearing a mask. Shut up and die already. It's been all, the last 4 years have been all about diapers on faces and coughing and schizophrenia and delusion and irrationality and hubris built on nothing. Hubris built on nothing is the most dangerous thing in this universe. Having an untamed ego when you have done nothing worth feeling great for in your life. I was on the lacrosse team in high school. Oh, Wax Bro. Yeah, what's up, man? That guy? That guy? Wax Bro. That's me. That's me. Actually, I'm a god. I worship God. Then I killed him. I made a new one. That's a narcissist. And my worldview is the ultimate. Everyone's a bloody fucking heretic. I think I'm gonna get to playing music now. Music suggestion as an outro. You should all check out Little Darky and any of the collaborations he's had with Brahmain God or just check him out. He has good single, like single EPs or whatever on Spotify. He's a whole album dedicated to one song type shit. But just check them all out. The lyrics in those songs will guide you back to the real and being real. And before you find God, you must learn to be real. And who is he who is real but does not love and does not know the truth and does not love the truth? Who is that? That's a fake motherfucker. Being real is the mainest guideline of life. This is be real. The only way to be strong is to be real, first of all. And second of all, and third of all. And fourth of all. And fifth of all. It might sound fake that I'm still going, but it's actually real because it's like that. It's always the next step, always development, always becoming something much greater really quickly. You just take like the slope of your life, just going up like that. You flatten it dimensionally and just go straight up like that way. That much exponential development. But 1 hour. I farted exactly at 1 hour. Perfect. Knock off that achievement. Achievement unlocked. 10 points. Swish. Alright. Uh, I need more material. I'm gonna develop more. And I'll be back with tomorrow's. Probably not tomorrow. The future's now's message. This is a nice little, poetry. How did Alan Watts put it? He said that nirvana is when you recognize that the now is all we have ever. Letting go of past, future. Metallica. That guy's definitely drunk. Alright, let's see. Whatever. Let's try to make it worth it for people who have spent the last 2 minutes dealing with my stupidity. Some secret. Just some random thing. Darkness builds up in your body, and that's why people who sit in cubicles their whole life end up decrepit and unable to walk and crippled. It's because they didn't know that they should be like bouncing around their whole life in joy and happiness and Lord, and that's why God keeps people's bones young, as it says in the Bible, rather. That, that if you spend your whole life being joyful and bouncing around, you won't build up darkness in your body that makes you decrepit and crippled when you're old. And that actually, occurs. It's been not stupid to say scientifically proven because it wasn't a science experiment. It just happens all the time. You see it if you maybe watch a television show depicting an old man who just, spent his whole life just like playing games outside in next to some house he built in a forest or something, and it kept him young and nimble and um, bouncy. But of course, an old person who sits in a cubicle their whole life, or you sitting on a couch your whole life, you're going to be building up darkness in the body. It needs to be stretched out. You have to get that darkness out because it's blocking your authentic capabilities. And when that's occurring, you'll be so lost on what is real. What is the real you? What is being real to you? When you finally, sort of get it back, stretching it out by using your entire body at the same time, you got to be ambidextrous. When you're stretching your neck, you got to be using both arms and shoulders and hands at the same time. So best to start with the hands. It helps you use all the way up to the middle of your neck, middle of your spine, and until you get that shit out, you won't be able to really find the real route, the route of the real, the route of the real, the route of the strong. And so, yeah, it's a very deep secret that mushrooms taught me. And of course, I didn't really get into it before, but yeah, man, if you haven't done mushrooms, you're a fool. Drop your ego. It's literally your pride or fear, certainly. One of those, pride or fear, in the way of you ever doing mushrooms, experiencing what it has to offer you. Pride or fear, that's all it's ever been. And, not around your friends. Unless you have a really good friend that you consider an actually cool friend who's chill and nice and funny. That has not just funny, but has a sense of humor, if you understand the distinction. Uh, but even still, you should end up having a moment where you go off by yourself and into the woods or something, down the trail a bit more, to have your own personal experience with the mushroom, for it to unleash its load onto you of information. And because when it's doing that fully, you're just going to be sprawled out on the floor like, and laughing your ass off. But it's not going to do that in front of your friends because it doesn't want to embarrass you. It literally understands the situation around you because it understands life on a level you have yet to, if you haven't done mushrooms. And never will until you do mushrooms. So I find the biggest distinction between Christians who are real Christians and who aren't are the ones who have gotten into natural psychedelics and really experienced what they had to offer with an embracing heart, either thinking or believing that this is from God, or that God like allowed this for me to this, and to understand this, and I'm just going to treat this as a one-time thing or a few times to really just get what I need and hang up the phone. That's a beautiful thing. You're spiritually mature as fuck if you did that. And the Christians who have never done natural psychedelics are just so off. They're so wrong. They're the ones going to become the Pharisees. It's just the best way to put it. They're going to become the Pharisees. They're going to become the over-righteous, stick to the law, to the dot, and make sure you clean up your dishes. Make sure your dishes are so clean, but you put your food into your filthy bodies. You put that food into your filthy bodies and expect, you must clean the body spiritually. You must wash the body spiritually with, as luck would have it, a natural psychedelic, which makes it so easy to develop spiritually. The sober, trying to do it sober, you just lock yourself in the ashram for 40 weeks and be sweating every day trying to find something and not really finding much of anything. You just fucking go take some mushrooms. Within the next 5 minutes, you've found more than you'll have ever found the rest of your life. Probably guaranteed. The amount of information coming through, it's, you have to sort through it later because you probably realize, you didn't really think out the full thought because you were already busy thinking of the next part of like the scripture you're basically reading with all this fucking just straight up download of golden fucking material. The mushroom, it doesn't keep bullshit material in it because it's sifted through its bullshit. It's had a lot of time while it's just sitting underground waiting for something to take it to give it hands. And you'll probably get convinced for the first time you do it. This is just a last minute of me talking here. Probably gonna get convinced that it's God. It's God Himself. Could be. It probably is. It probably. There's a distinction though. It's God Almighty truly does not need a substance in order to be contacted. But just as life continues to whoop your ass to get you on God's page, sometimes you can get yourself there. I imagine God would prefer it. It didn't have to whoop your ass. That you could find your way there if you were just like egoless and prideless enough to be like, I need help here. I'm gonna take mushrooms. And some other Christians might scold you for doing that. Be like, oh, you're supposed to be sober forever for the rest of your life because that's what I'm doing now, and it's great because I finally found a woman, and that's why I'm right and you're wrong. But This fucking nonsense. It's like, dude, just smoke a fucking blunt and we'll talk then, dude. Good friends are too rare. You find a real person, you fucking hug them and hang on, man. Stay in the spirit. When you're with someone that you want to stay friends with, you stay in the spirit so that the little things in between your relationship right now and little things going on in the social situation right now don't affect your care about this person. Stay in the spirit, both of them. So I learned to fix my relationship with my brother. It would seem he's never going to take enough mushrooms to change. He's never going to take enough mushrooms to change into what I know he can be. So I have to just learn to look past what. It's like you have to give the other person the benefit of the doubt all the time. You can't be trying to find a fault. You have to be like, what's the light coming from this person? What are the colors they're trying to emit right now? As opposed to, what does all the conversation leading up to this say about what they're saying right now? Let's read into the implications so that we can hate this person more than we already do. And I don't hate my brother. I fucking love my brother more than anyone else in the world right now. Because my dad's dead. We're so perfect together when it comes to like coming up with hilarious ideas for like a comedy show or just like random skits, just like the funniest fucking things. It's like it helps me just talking to him, saying the thing. It helps me just be like so free with my ideas and thoughts. It just helps it flow because I know he's gonna understand. It's just I'm not true. It's important. Gosh, it's like if only just like me and a couple of my friends actually started up a band when we're sort of like, let's play some guitar together in the basement instead of video games right now, or some play along with some Pink Floyd or something. That one friend I'm thinking of, Jared. What's up, Jared? I shout outed to it earlier in this video. We would have made a dang solid band if it was me, him, JP, Isaac, or Kevin. And we would have had a type of, chemistry, a type of chemistry together. The enzyme, we got each other's enzymes. And type of chemistry to really shine as like a public band. It would have been so beautiful. I could really see it. We were all still yet so our own unique selves. I don't think we would have been able to really agree on songs that we made. We're trying to make. Yeah, no, it would have been a nice refining teamwork process. That's what it would have been. That's all it would have been. Different angles. It's like cross of a fucking archetype situation. It would have worked out greatly, honestly. Anyways, it's just a means of saying keep the important people in your life. Do what you can to not burn the bridges of relationships of people who they were cool, but like just random things happened between them while they were drunk and you were drunk. They were just a little too drunk and they slapped you in the face or something. You were like, dude, I'm gonna kill you. Like hiding out in the woods, making sure the cops don't hear us, and they're just all talking, and I'm just like, dude, everyone be quiet. Over and over, shh, guys, stop talking. And he slaps me in the face because he's too drunk. And starts telling me to be quiet. It's like, dude, you can hear. It's way worse thing that happened actually that ruined that relationship. But man, I don't know. Yeah, what? I was about to end the live stream there, but this is a video called Just Talking. And I feel like I currently have realized the right that I already had to just talk or not talk on my own fucking live stream. So, welcome to the fucking show. Hello, everyone. This is my live stream. Weirdness, strange things, and keys to heaven. Stay real. I'm gonna roll another fucking spliff, even though this one still got need that unlimited chain right now. Oh, fuck, dude. I feel like just talking about, like, some random philosophies and Bleach and just trying to sort it out. Or just, like, a random thing that happens in Bleach and just, like, talking about where my mind goes about it. Yeah, so I haven't really thought this through yet. So an Ichigo gets stabbed by Byakuya the first time Ichigo nearly dies when he's facing the Soul Reapers after when Rukia goes back to Soul Society and faces her charges and all the rest. That it was said that Byakuya stabbed his soul chain and his soul sleep areas to it was this to take out Rukia's Soul Reaper power so that she could get it back, and something else. And I'm gonna try to just outwardly, in the moment, live stream philosophize, do live, about what the soul chain and soul sleep areas are and what they do. Because I have no idea right now. It's a nice little challenge, I think. Let's see. I guess, I mean, I don't really have enough information to go on. I just have, like, the titles. And, like, how Ichigo was a little bit different afterwards. He was, like, prone to going hollow, first of all. Maybe perhaps he was hollow. That's the better way to put it. It's the soul chain. I kind of just want to focus on that. As the soul chain. They said it was like the. I guess I already said what it was. Let's talk about some. but it's like a deep thing. It's a chain of some sort, a soul chain. It's not like you're chained up. It's not your hands are chained. It's more like some uh, channeling slash also accumulation of your power. Sort of like your spine or something. But I didn't want to talk about this other scene where, Ichigo he's fighting Renji. This is near the same part of the show. He's fighting Renji originally, before Byakuya stepped in, and Renji was about to kill him. He almost fucking killed him. It sliced his one shoulder. Ichigo's sitting down, fucking stands up. He's like, I don't even really feel the pain right now, or fucking whatever he says at that time. And then he's to fight again. He gets sliced again because Renji whips out his Shikai. He's like, it's 1,000 years too soon to think you could beat me. And and Ichigo is on the ground. Renji's about to throw in the final blow. And Rukia grabs Renji's arm and holds it so he can't swing. And Ichigo is just sitting there. And the power surges into him. The power of his god surges into him. This is my favorite moment in the entire series, because that was the first time I understood what the whole show, what the backbone of the show was, is this understanding that your God will be there for you and strengthening you where you're broken. Your bones are broken, you'll be able to walk on them if your God is the Lord Almighty. In a time of crisis or something, not necessarily out in the woods or something like that. A big boulder breaks your leg or something. It might just be broken and you just have the strength to make it back to a car finding you and getting to a hospital. That was God knowing that's all he needed to do. But when it's a situation when you're in a fight with someone, your shoulder blades, no less, have been each sliced. Very possible that with a strong mindset, all that is required for what is being, put on the table here, is a strong mindset where you aren't consciously giving up because your body is broken. You inside yourself are about to force this reality to become fantasy. And as someone who's properly subjugated their reality, it's not your body, it's not the state of your body, it's your fucking mindset, it's your attitude. This is, it's redundant, but it needs to be said after the last 4 years. It's not some fucking microscopic illness that's gonna take me down. And that's the fucking only thing you need to think this last fucking 4 years. And plus, a cold is an ascension process, so let's look at it like it's a good thing, and we'll definitely get through it. Yeah, man, life is all about that strong mindset slash attitude. It's also about discipline. People who get way too tunnel visioned about strength will just end up killing people because they're like, they weren't strong enough to stop me. The strongest, we can just do whatever we want and show them why they should be strong too, and all the rest. But no, the strongest are there to protect. That's what real strength is in the end. You're not strong if you're not there to protect. You're a fool with fucking muscles. if you're not there to fucking use them to protect. And you think you might, you just probably just say that to yourself, but you're probably too much of a coward to really stand up to something where, anyone else, they would have been afraid too. I see in your eyes the same fear that would take the heart of me. But I face it down. And slam my foot on that stone. And I'm like, this is exciting. This is exciting. But it's like, oh, I'm scared of what I'm probably gonna know. Well, why not? This is exciting. Come on. Get to really prove that I'm the construct of bulletproofedness that I'm always wanting to waltz around claiming about myself. I'm bulletproof. I'm bulletproof now. Let's see. Ah, wasn't bulletproof. Shit. It's time, baby. I'll be John F. Kennedy's something. This time, baby, I won't be Martin Luther King Jr. This time, baby, I won't be Bruce Lee. And this time, baby, I definitely won't be Tupac. Oh, man. Satan's telling me to end the live stream. I'm just gonna ignore him. I'm just gonna not talk for a little bit. My God, I just pissed myself off big time. I should probably stop doing that. Pissing myself off. It's too hard, man, in this fucking world. You just start thinking about the world. Like, God damn it. This is if you still have a fucking brain and DNA inside yourself. It's not about living or dying. This life is just a passing away. 99.999% of it it's just a 90-year wave. A 90-year wave of passing away of itself. All your desires, just a passing away. It is very important to get on the wavelength of God. Years aren't much of a time span. We think they are, but then we realize, Jesus Christ, 25 years have already passed since I shat out my mother's pussy into this fucking hellhole of fucking Satan shit. It's been 25 years. It felt like it's been 10 trillion. But yet, it also feels like it's been 15, 20. And then it's just denial for the rest of your life. And then you're already dead. Trust me, I am the most optimistic person you'll ever meet. It's just a matter of letting me finally say the thing that makes me optimistic. I don't know what that thing is. It'll all congeal together into somehow I am definitely the most optimistic person. You know, fuck the human sacrifice. I'm cooler than a bag of ice cream. But that's not me, of course. But, uh, yeah, well, it's just sort of what I was going into before. And it's all just a passing way. And the 90 years is just a thing. It's just a wave. Just like you wave it when it's a moment. And Terrence McKenna put it this way. He said, "If you want to be Phoenix, come and be parked." But it's pretty good. It's pretty accurate. I don't think Phoenix is the right word. I don't really know what the right word is. It's just, to me, when I hear that statement, come and be parked, if you want to be Phoenixed, I think of just gods as like a silhouette of neon lined up, like sort of behind each other, sort of like ancestors or something. And not a silhouette, but just like an outlining of their, in like neon. They all sort of channel through the being that is you, just as your spine channels your consciousness, channels your authenticity, channels your authenticity. Wow. I guess Phoenix is, I guess, the right word. I guess I was just sort of reading wrong into the implications about the symbolism of just like coming back from its ashes and all the rest. But you know, our ancestors do live on through us, as in terms of like their spiritual energy slash perspective. That doesn't mean that they're in the afterlife living inside of us. Like the afterlife can be just literally them doing something else on a different planet, or just going to fucking heaven, or you know, the other side, and experiencing the routes that God has prepared for, like, your best dream ever or something, or your best bunch of dreams, your favorite dreams that you've ever had at night. Um, to me, I always think of this one. It was during the time when I was reading. Was it the Iliad? No, it was the Divine Comedy by Dante. Ooh, what a book! Oh my God, be able to just read even one line of that book, Jesus Christ! And of course, you can't just read one line; it's all deciphered in the 4 lines. But uh, just I had this dream. Uh, how do I even describe it? It was like you had to fly to get placed. You had to fly to get to like stage 2 of the area, and it all sort of started off in this place that looked like a sort of a hockey rink that was like cut off at the part where the part of the audience just goes straight across as opposed to curving around the one end. Just a straight section of a hockey rink, a hockey audience stadium area, cut off and just like inside of a building that's facing down the part that goes into stage 2 where you have to take off and fly. Um, and just the vibe of the whole. Oh, it's fucking crazy. It was like there was a giant titan that was chasing us, so we all had to like run away so we wouldn't be stepped on and like fly uh, uh, to the next part where you could go off. I forget. There was like also like say like something like it wasn't this, but it was something like gold coins or something that you could go to over there and pick up and find. And I think it was sort of like actually more like Fortnite that you could just like go somewhere and you would find something, some tool that could help you or something. Uh, and but yeah, it's like it's crazy how you're in a dream and the ability to fly is just natural to you. If it just sort of breaks out that you need to fly, you're like, let's just do it, and then you do it, and you're doing it, you know. Uh, at least enough where you can fix it if you're falling, and just get yourself to the next part where you're safe. And but the afterlife can be just sort of like that, Uh, I sort of love the way Dragon Ball Z depicted the afterlife. It's just like Goku going off to warrior heaven, where he's training with other warriors to become an even greater warrior, and they're having like tournaments where they're all fighting for number one, showing who is really the most developed, and just friendly competitions and stuff, and training for it all the other times. To be training, what they're really training for is to become the best angel, or the greatest angel of God really needs to send in the heavy artillery. He's sending you, and that makes it so that for all the menial tasks, that's going to be the other people. So you can spend all the time, just sitting in the baths, training otherwise, and staying and keeping your mind sharp. But just being free because you've earned that right, because you've trained that hard. I'm so glad I said that. I haven't ended the live stream yet. Because that's like one of the most beautiful things I've ever said. Most empowering things I've ever said. The stronger you get, the more you deserve a break. The more of an angel you become, the better of an angel you become, the more you deserve breaks in your free time. Think a life like that as opposed to the way society brought you up. And no one deserves free time. You only deserve 2 out of 7 days a week. 5 days for 2 days every week. I don't know, I'm not a gambler, but those are some pretty shitty odds. Shout out to Doug Stanhope. I get it, you just submitted your mind and life into submitting yourself and your life into accepting that you must spend 5 days out of a week serving a corporation that don't give a fuck about you, only appreciates the fact that you are able to keep a smile on your face sycophantically while people disrespect you. The law and going through so much shit, the bills that you can't pay, fucking all the goddamn stress of being someone who in the end chose the easy route of going through the system, being shredded by the fucking system, in order to provide yourself what you thought would be a stable fucking life, but it ain't it? You don't have control over your life, and you never will, because that route will never give you any type of control over your life. A man who loves wealth will never love his income. Words are like ancestors. You have to say to that, Terrence. Where you at, Terrence McKenna? Let's discuss. Words are like ancestors. Scripture, quoting scripture to chase off Satan? How does that work? It's built into like what is the now and what really shakes the foundations of demons and shit. Like quoting scriptures, how they say, best way to defeat the devil, get him to fuck off your anus, and well, I mean, not any type of person can just read the Bible out loud and give it what it's, read it the way it's actually being written. And you probably need to smoke some weed before you're able to understand it the way it's written at all in the first place. I know. But if you haven't done that, just literally be like, God, I'm smoking this weed to better understand your word, and bless the weed with that, and devote every single moment thereon, the entire high experience, to reading the Bible and having a deeper experience with it. You will have that on a 1,000-fold level. It's why I now literally truly believe that cannabis is a perfect symbolism / manifestation of Jesus. It's like the first time you smoke weed, it's as if Jesus had just baptized you, And potentially even greater than a baptismal experience. I got baptized. A month later, I was thrown in jail for 3 months. That was good. That was great. Of course, I was a 10 trillion times better person, even though I wasn't even a bad person in the first place. And yet, so much suffering, and oh my god, I'm not even gonna go into it. Natural psychedelics. People who have never done natural psychedelics will be the biggest fools and stupid people on the planet. Stupid motherfucker with that human brain. My gosh. I don't know how big my temple was, dude. It was so fucking big. My pyramid, you had to zoom into it like it was a fucking galaxy. There's waves of something in the air. Just like waves of air. I don't know, man. In the air. That shit was so cool to see on mushrooms. The amount of fucking visions of like spiritual things you can have on mushrooms, dude. It's unlimited. Of like sections of the universe or of higher dimensions that you're perceiving, like constructs in the higher dimensions that you're perceiving. I'm not talking like, on a screen, multidimensional blah blah blahs. I'm talking like a fucking like, in a sense, like a totem pole of a construction like that, a construct, a thing. Fuck. I'm losing a friend. These mushrooms. Too many things to put back together. What the hell happened? Oh, that's just it, huh? Well, it was either one of two things. I'm either at war with the keepers of the secrets and they don't want people empowered, or God himself is like this and that. Fucking, I don't believe that one, It's like, why would God? But maybe it's just he doesn't want me to be preaching these things. There's enough people on the planet preaching this thing. It's me, I mean, Christianity, I don't. God, people who just raised Christian and never experienced natural psychedelics, they're just fucked, man. They're so fucked. They're gonna marry at 20 to have sex. For the first time in their life. What did it keep my virgin body anyway? It's especially if he's goes to church. He's goofy. He got a stupid smile on his face whenever he smiles. I am jealous. There's this one girl, man. She was meant to be in every fucking thing that just tore us apart. We had such a good relationship. We both loved each other, but I literally, my psychological oppression, I literally at the time didn't even know that a woman could like me like me. That was how bad my entire childhood was. That's not because it never happened or rarely ever happened. It's just everyone always made me feel so horrible about myself. They just eventually did in ways that were just too slanderous. It's for my psychology, not my image, but my psychology. But anyways, that girl marries this dude. I hope neither of them or anyone they're related to or knows them watches this, but not knows them, but I mean they probably like have assumed something like this is. But yeah, I'm just gonna say, like, bro, I really love that girl, and you know this absolute part of my French, but clown of a motherfucker. It just pisses me off, and I feel like I'm seeing pain in her eyes when I see her Facebook profile pictures, but I don't know. I feel like it was supposed to have happened, but didn't. I was supposed to have married her, but it didn't happen. And she was perfect for me. She understood my sense of humor better than I did. About all it takes for me. Understand my sense of humor at least as much as I do, or better than I do. Wife material. Because it hinges on that. Do a lot of things that average American succubus won't be like, are you serious right now? Why'd you even do that? That's just stupid. I go do some more mushrooms and talk of fucking goddamn Da Vinci, don't you? Why don't you? There's only ever want to have conversations and experiences with Da Vinci and God and fucking Prince Charming, huh? Why so serious? Don't make me slice open your fucking cheeks and ask you why so serious and with my clown fucking face on. Don't make me go paint my red nose red. Stop being so serious. Life isn't that fucking serious. This is like American Women. It's gonna take one or two routes. That it's all a fucking fantasy Disney story, and it's gotta be a Prince Charming fucking experience when she meets the man of her dreams. Or, it's everything's gonna be so serious, man. You can't even fart around these people. They're gonna be like, absolute red flag. You're out. What, you never fart, bitch? Shut up. I heard you fart earlier. I didn't fucking say anything. It smelled worse than anything I've smelled in my life. What are you eating? You don't go there. What are you eating, bitch? 50 calorie a day fucking Oreos? No wonder your brain's falling apart. You're in a fucking 100 calorie a day fucking diet. Do you know your brain's fat? Brain needs fat to fucking uphold itself. If you've been on a diet, like vegan or just low calorie diet, like for a long time, down a bottle of coconut whipped cream with all that sugar. Just down the entire fucking thing. and your mind will come back 1,000-fold in 10 minutes flat. Literally. There's so many fucking secrets. It's not even funny that, it's such a fucked off situation. I guess in the end it is quite funny because, I mean, that's just hysterically fucking nonsensical. But, I was posting all these answers on Facebook too long, not taking them upon myself to endear and endure and envision and expand upon. And integrate is the other one. What time is it? Jesus Christ, it's 12:30. This was a 2-hour fucking live stream that started at 10:30. Before we hit the 2-hour mark, to lose that many more viewers who don't want to bother listening to me for 10 seconds, and then they're like, 2 hours? I'm out. Let's keep it at the $99.99 a month mark, and I'll be charging you the extra penny on the morrow. Alright, secret. Subscribe, hit that like button. Everyone, share it with your friends. I'm the best, aren't I? Everyone, submit to me. I'm your god. Yes, you're interested in me. You're interested in me. You're interested in me. You're very interested.